President.
Senator from Ohio.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to urge my colleagues to join me in supporting the nomination of Martin Gruenberg to be a member and chairperson of the Board of Directors of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, what most of America knows as FDIC. Mr. Gruenberg is an extraordinary and qualified nominee who came out of the Banking and Housing Committee with bipartisan support. He has been confirmed by the United States Senate unanimously 5 times. Senator Toomey, the ranking member of the Banking Committee, someone on whom I've not always agreed with on nomination, voted in favor of Mr. Gruenberg's nomination as part of a bipartisan package to fill the FDIC board. I thank my friend, my departing friend from Pennsylvania for his support and his cooperation. Mr. Gruenberg's credentials speak for themselves. A career public servant, the longest-serving member of the FDIC board. As I said, the Senate has confirmed him unanimously 5 times. He's been nominated and confirmed over and over again. He first joined the FDIC in 2005 after spending 25 years on Capitol Hill, including working as a senior counsel on the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee for Senator Sarbanes. As the presiding officer knows, this committee has just been known as the Banking Committee for some time. When I took over as chair, and the Banking Committee was essentially Wall Street's committee. When I took over as chair, we emphasized this committee as banking, housing, urban affairs. Its priorities are housing, its priorities are public transit, its priorities are making the banking system safer, not just to do the bidding of Wall Street. Since joining the FDIC, Mr. Gruenberg served as chair, as vice chair, acting chair, and member of the FDIC. Take a minute and think about that in his qualifications: chair, vice chair, acting chair, and member. I've served on the Banking and Housing Committee since 2007. I don't remember any FDIC nominee, or I'm not sure I remember any nominee that's had that, for anything, that's had that kind of experience, that level of expertise. Since becoming acting chair in February 2022, Mr. Gruenberg's wasted no time getting to work for the American people. He's focused on strengthening the Community Reinvestment Act to expand access to credit and investments in low and moderate income communities. He's reviewing the FDIC's bank merger process to ensure it assesses the impact bank mergers have on competition and on access to financial services in communities across the country. We all know that as banks have gotten larger and larger, gargantuan in many ways compared to what their sizes were during the disaster of 15 years ago. And we know that that can be a problem for our economy. So he is going to look at that much more closely than others. Under his leadership, the FDIC evaluates the risk posed by cryptocurrencies and digital assets to consumers and to the overall safety and soundness of the banking system. As I said, Madam President, during his nomination hearing, Mr. Gruenberg has seen our financial system at its highest and its lowest points. During the financial crisis, when Wall Street and big corporations crashed our economy, Mr. Gruenberg worked on a bipartisan basis with then FDIC Chair Sheila Bair to pick up the pieces. He helped restore, alongside her, helped to restore, a Republican I would add, trust and confidence that our money in banks is safe. He helped implement reforms passed by Congress to strengthen capital requirements and protect depositors from future financial crisis. He brings this experience and dedication with him as our country emerges from the pandemic. I can think, Madam President, of no better person to serve as chair of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation than Marty Gruenberg. Before I conclude, I want to note that in addition to Mr. Gruenberg, the Senate's considering the nomination of 2 other seats to the FDIC board. Once we have Mr. Gruenberg and the other 2 FDIC nominees, Travis Hill and Jonathan McKernan, confirmed, the agency will have in place, both Republicans, the agency will have in place for the first time since 2015, a full board of directors. So almost a decade it's been, 3/4 of a decade since this FDIC has had full board of directors. I credit President Biden for making this a priority. I credit Laura and Mohammed and others on my staff for making this a priority, and I credit the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs for doing this. First time since 2015, a full board of directors. I urge my colleagues to support Mark Gruenberg's nomination to the FDIC board.